Prime Edition.
Counterfeit and illicit trade is one of the factors that distort investment and loss of legitimate market in the country. They not only cause harm to the unsuspecting public, but also lead to significant loss in government revenues through unpaid taxes and unemployment in the long run.
During a sensitization workshop on illicit trading on how to differentiate the fake goods from the legitimate ones in Kampala, representatives from the Taxing Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, Police Forensics, among others, resolved to the use of the 3 E's strategy, which include educating, holding workshops that expose the public about the sale of these counterfeits, engaging with their stakeholders to find solutions to this problem, and also enforce by prosecuting people manufacturing, selling, and transporting these illegitimate products. Charles Twine, the Crime Investigation Department spokesperson, says most of the products do not have a registered trademark. They end up infringing on the registered trademarks of the businessmen and manufacturers.
Stands does not have a direct law that we depend on to fight it. The only available laws we've been using, which we think is not really sufficient, is the UNBS, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards Act, whereby, it is very common that almost 98% of the counterfeited products don't measure to the standards. So now, once we go in the field for enforcement, we often use the UNBS Act, apprehend, subject the exhibit standards, and of course they don't measure to standards, and then we prosecute. But also, most of the counterfeit products don't have a registered trademark here, and they end up infringing on the available registered trademarks of legitimate businessmen and manufacturers.
Joanita Mukasa at Unilever Uganda said that illicit trade costs the reputation of businesses. It exposes the consumers not to trust the product since most of the consumers associate cheap to low quality.
Really encourage everyone who is a part of this struggle, all stakeholders, to support in reducing illicit trade and completely get rid of the vice.
Talk about the issue of factories.
Jobs.
Moving away.
Yeah, so those who remember, we have lost factories here out of illicit trade because
she adds that we are losing out as a country in terms of investment opportunities due to an increase of illicit trade. Trust is lost from a business perspective.
People who would like to invest with us from a business perspective do not trust that they will be protected because of the illicit traders. So we need to ensure that illicit trade is completely deleted.
Joseph Lubura, the brand protection manager at Uganda Breweries Limited, discloses that enabling law is important because it crowns the whole effort. Without it, lawbreakers would go scot-free, and the courts won't be able to give a punitive punishment.
From the fact that many of the people will want to go for alternate goods that are probably cheaper. In most cases, those are the goods that are not genuine, and the fact that it is a very profitable trade, just like any crime. They don't pay taxes, they are not regulated, but they are earning. So anyone would want to join that trade to earn. So we are seeing it as an increase, and of course the other factors mentioned by the other players, the loopholes and the additional laws we require, more engagement with the law enforcement agencies, and of course general awareness in the public to fight this vice. No, it's important because it supports all our efforts. If you don't have an enabling law, even the courts will not be able to give a punitive punishment. Lawbreakers will go scot-free. So an enabling law crowns the whole effort. The
sensitization campaign was organized by, among others, Uganda Breweries Limited, British American Tobacco, and Unilever Uganda. Rona Nahab, Smart 24 TV.